Hi you guys, my name is Sierra Burris and I'm going to be talking to you about ethical decision making in management and leadership roles within the workplace. So let's begin with slide 1 and we're going to discuss the types of decisions that we have. So let's start off by saying that not all decisions have consequences. Every day we make habitual decisions. Things such as what are we going to wear today, which route we're going to take to work, what are we going to eat for lunch, what are we going to make for dinner. I know sometimes I sit at work and I'm just like, what am I going to eat when I get home? Those are the type of decisions that we just make every day that we don't think about. But there's steps to making decisions. John McGee, he created the decision tree, which you can see on the PowerPoint to your right. The decision tree, it clarifies for management the choices, risks, objectives, monetary gains, and information that is needed in an investment plan. And it consists of displaying alternatives such as like financial data, the choosing a course of action, accounting for time and uncertainty alternatives as well. And then our last type of decision we have is the rational decision-making approach. And this allows managers to follow a systematic step-by-step process. This approach is one of the most used throughout management within an organization. It reassures that every step is followed properly, and that most decisions are made appropriately. So let's go to our next step, which we're going to continue with the types of decisions that we have. So we're going to start with the emotion. We all have emotions in our decisions. We're going to discuss the beliefs, which we're going to refer to as ethics and values, and then we're going to discuss creativity. So with emotions, it has a powerful effect on decisions, and while the outcomes of decisions have a powerful effect on emotions. And then we have a specific type of emotion that we're going to discuss, and it's the integral emotion. And it's a type of emotion that strongly and routinely shapes decision making. So, for example, a person may feel anxious about a potential outcome, that they may choose a safer option rather than going with the one that is just plain out there. It's noticed that in angry people, they place the blame on individuals a lot. I see a lot of angry people like, she did it, I didn't do that, oh, this decision didn't go right because of so-and-so. And then we have regret. Regret is a type of emotion that many people experience when faced with decision. I know I make a lot of decisions and I may regret the decision that I make. People in the workplace regret decisions when firing people. They just may fire someone, or they may choose another employee for a position that they should have chose someone else for. And next we have beliefs and values. Ethics are a person's beliefs and what constitutes right and wrong behavior. So many managers are faced with beliefs and are faced with difficult decisions every day, whether they're right or wrong. And then we have values, and this is a leader's integrity and credibility in the eyes of others that come from a value-driven process. This tool is used to identify most critical decisions that people face. It determines when and figure out information that is needed. And last, we have creativity. Creativity takes the role in decision making. Many managers and organizations take their creativity to make decisions. So when we think of decision making and creativity, we look for new alternatives with elements that achieve fundamental objectives. So let's go to the next slide. And our argument here is individuals in leadership roles use their ethical behavior while speaking truthfulness and using actions to determine the most appropriate decision in a set of circumstances. So let's figure out how we're going to come up with the solution to that question, to that argument. So let's go to the next slide, and we're going to talk about the approaches that was made to come up with this decision. So I used the qualitative evaluation, I used justice and fairness, and I found the virtues approach. So when leaders propose to make a qualitative evaluation, they consider reputation, brand strength, employee morale, personal beliefs and values take part of the decision-making process when they're thinking of the qualitative evaluations of things. And then I have the justice and fairness approach. Justice means just giving each person where he or she deserves, just giving them their dues, basically. Sometimes we have discrimination in the workplace. Many people deal with their race and their sexuality. It's going against them. Maybe a manager just didn't decide because they're not heterosexual, maybe they're homosexual, and the decision was made that way. A lot of people don't put their race on job applications for this reason. As an African American, I know many of us don't, because we don't want the employer to see us for our race. And then we often ask ourselves when making decisions, what should we do? Moral principles focus on people's actions and doings. So we have virtues, which are attitudes and character traits. So you have honesty, courage, compassion, generosity, fidelity, many things like that. So the results that I found, which is on our next slide, is that great leadership and ethical decision making understands how to balance emotion. Leaders make decisions that positively impact themselves, their employers, their customers, and the organization as a whole. And in difficult situations, leaders know that change is involved, and there is sometimes a level of uncertainties, like not knowing that sometimes things cannot be controlled. So when making decisions, leaders gather the information that is given to them, and they analyze it to get the appropriate decision that they need to have. So my suggestions, which is on the next slide, is that when conducting research, I think we should do a lot of surveying, and surveying will result in real results with individuals, and then you'll get those who are involved within the ethical decision-making process. And this approach will lead to a deeper understanding of quantitative research and not just the qualitative side of research in the leadership roles. So that concludes my research on ethical decision making. Thank you guys for listening, and I hope that you don't have to experience it in your workplace. So have a good day. Goodbye.